The Queen's proposal. "We have to do something," I exclaimed. Uncle Jasper had just finished summarizing how the Queen, the same Queen who held Sarah's mom, once held him captive. Now she has also lured Sarah and Jake into her palace. What are we going to do?" My voice sounds frantic as I pace the room. Uncle Jasper appears seemingly concerned. He messages with his temples deep in the contemplation. Seth seems underwhelmed with the situation, allowing Odie to cautiously sniff one of his dangling tentacles. "The sun should be rising soon, and we should rest while we can and approach the problem refreshed in the morning," Uncle Jasper says, while the logical part of my brain knows he is right. My heart almost shattered in that instant. "We have to help them," I plead. "We will," Uncle Jasper sighs, "but we can't accomplish this alone. We're going to need assistance." He glances knowingly at Seth, who draws attention as if Uncle Jasper has just snapped him with a rubber band. I discern what you're suggesting," Seth grumbles, "and you can seize this instant. The remnants of my once great civilization will not place one tentative tentacle on that woman's solid land. We are a noble race that values our existence. Imagine how far the society will spread if she had the power of a child's imagination and will behind her." "The desert is vast," Seth retorts, staring at Uncle Jasper with intense determination that must stem from underbred fear. "What about all the cephaloids the Queen has already influenced to transform into those horrific creatures?" Uncle Jasper asks. "You have no guardians that their transfiguration can be reversed," Seth warns. "No, but doing something is better than doing nothing. At least if you help us, there's hope. The possibility that you can return them to their natural state." Seth ponders this, absently swinging his tentacle back and forth under the table. An action Odie finds too tempting to risk. He gives one a curious, gentle nip, and Seth screeches like a frightened child. The incredible tension filled the room breaks, and Uncle Jasper and I can't help but laugh. It starts as a snigger, grows into a giggle, and ends with us holding our sides, wiping tears from our eyes. "That's repulsive. Mongrel bit me," Seth screeches, holding his tentacle. We laugh harder. "Why do you consider this hilarious?" "Don't be like that," Uncle Jasper says. "Odie wants you to help us too." Less, less than amused, Seth retreats suddenly, crossing his tentacle in front of him. Clearly knows no bounds, he mumbles. I'm sorry, but I'm exhausted, Uncle Jasper continues. Let's rest for a few hours and then we ventured out to locate the rest of Seth's clan. He stretches out on the bed and is soon snoring loudly. Desperate his anger, Seth is soon slumbering too.
Anxiety.
Anxiety makes closing my eyes impossible. Too much that has happened, and I can hardly contain my desire to find Jake, Sarah, and Sarah's mom. Anna, I can visual them clearly. Jake ever optimistic and excited for life. Sarah, her timidity, hiding great strength, and Anna, whom I have never met, but whose face is emblazoned in my memory. I wish they were here right now, all of them safe and happy. As my imagination meanders, the soft, sparky sense begins to shift in my period version. I turn my head and freeze. There stand Jake, Sarah, and Anna, just as I imagined them. Jake smiles and I waves, and it looks as if he's trying to speak. Anna, Sarah, mother, who has the expression of pure love I remember from the picture of her in the hidden room. I walk toward them, too overwhelmed to speak. My walk quickly becomes a dash toward Jake, wrapping him in a big bear hug. I lift him off the ground and swing his small body around, ecstatically laughing. He's smiling and his mouth is open as if he's laughing, but no sounds emerge. I place him back on the sand and turn to Sarah, who creeps from behind her mother and opens her arm for a hug. All these are still silent, and something about the entire situation feels wrong. Spread across her face, her teeth gleaming almost meanly as she moves forward and closing me in her arm. At first, the hug is gentle, but it quickly becomes tighter as she embarrasses me with a way, but she's pinning my arms to my sides. I struggle violently, twisting back and forth, trying to honestly to escape. The Sarah that isn't Sarah leans forward and says to my ear, "You needn't be frightened, child. I simply want to bring you to your little brother and the friend." Her voice isn't Sarah's, but that of an older woman. They're here with me, safe and happy. I can make all your dreams come true and give you everything you ever wanted. Take away all your pain if you come to me and help me. She pulls back, and her face is no longer serious, as it has morphed into a beautiful woman's brown hair pulled into a bun top her head. She smiles the kindest smile I ever seen, an expression that reminds me of my mother. As I looked into her eyes, I feel safe and loved, as if everything she's saying could be true. I want it to be true. Quinn, no! Uncle Jasper yells from the entrance to the house. He races over and beginning to frequently tearing at the woman's arm, but she's too powerful. Imagine them gone right now. All three of them. Imagine they turning to sand again. Hurry! I pictured the three of them dissolving, become 3 mounds of sand at our feet. My eyes closed. I focused on nothing except that image. Slowly, the woman's grasp slackened, and I opened my eyes to see her face melting away as if made of wax. The final thing she whispered before disappearing completely into the glittering sand is, "Come to me." Uncle Jasper examines me to make sure I'm all right. "She's growing too strong," he whispered. Seth and Odie came traspering out of the house now, still half asleep. "What the dickens is happening out here?" Seth asked. Quinn conjured up some simulacra of Jackson Queen from the sand, and the Queen carried her creations. Uncle Jasper explained. "She was here," Seth grasped. "We must evacuate immediately." It wasn't really the Queen," I said, thinking of the woman's kind expression in her voice and how genuine and tempting her proposal seemed. I have a hard time remembering why I was trying to escape her grasp. Uncle Jasper dashed back into the house and began gathering supplies. "It doesn't matter," Seth continued. "She was here or part of her conscience or still was here, which means she knows where here is and her minions can't be far behind." Just as Uncle Jasper burst from the house, I heard a rumbling like rocks grinding against each other, and the ground shifts beneath my feet. Odie barks as Uncle Jasper sees Seth and throws him on his shoulder. "Run!" Uncle Jasper screamed, and I scooped up Odie, who was about to chomp down on a tentacle snake king from the sand. My legs sting from expiration as we sprint toward solid ground. I glanced behind in time to see the entire house crumbling and sinking into the soft sand as the creatures slithered their way out in pursuit. Soon we're on firm earth again, but the creatures follow us behind, 8 or 9 of them, tumbling over each other in a mass of terrifying clawed appendages. Seth, a little assistant, Uncle Jasper says, running ahead of me. What would you like me to do? Interrogate their eyes with the dusk. I can minuet in this solid ground. Why don't you do something? I've been trying, but nothing is responding. It's the sand. Like the sun doesn't hear me. Uncle Jasper sounds truly terrified as he grasps for breath. Quinn, I need you to image a wall taller and longer than any you've ever seen. Right behind us, concentrate on it as hard as you can, but don't stop running. I try to visualize a massive wall and my mind is instantaneously drawn to the Great Wall of China. We learned about it in school weeks ago, but that seemed like another lifetime. I remembered being in awe of how far it spread and the thick stone walls snaking across the countryside and how many different parts there were. I imagine we're running away from the wall, but it's following, growing taller and thicker. Then farther we go, a grinder rumble similar to what I heard before. It fills my ears, but this time it's followed by an explosion. Dusk, dirt clothes, and stone shower down, and we try to shield our heads as we sprint. Then Uncle Jasper freezes, his chest heaves. I slow down as I pass him and turn around to see an immense wall, just as I imagined, blocking out the early morning sky. It stretched far off into the distance on either side. The creatures are nowhere to be seen. Did I do that? I asked between breaths. Uncle Jasper simply nods, his hands on his hips. Uncle Jasper, my dear child, Seth says, the admiration clear in his voice. In this world, you can do anything. Glossary. Absent immediately, in forgetful or preoccupied manner. Conjure, create something or make something magically appeared. Contemplation, the act of thinking deeply, discerned,